Okay, kindergarten cougars, now we're going to start talking about our engineering unit, and it's going to be on biomimicry. The word bio means life. So whenever we talk about biomimicry, we're talking about living things or being inspired by living things. Mimicry means to copy. So if I jump up and down and you mimic me, you would be jumping up and down too. So biomimicry is copying something that living things do. And we can do that in a lot of ways. And people use biomimicry, engineers use biomimicry all the time to solve problems. Let's take a look at a few. Many times, humans look to plants and animals in order to solve problems. What animal do you think inspired airplanes? Well, birds. By looking at birds, humans were able to figure out how to build airplanes. So this guy is a scuba diver, and he has some really big fins for helping him swim through the water. What animal do you think inspired these swimming fins? Hey, a duck! Look at those feet on the duck. They look very similar to the swim fins. One day, an engineer was out hiking, and when he got home, he had all of these seeds and burrs stuck in his socks, which are quite annoying. But he looked really closely at those burrs, and he noticed that they had a little hook on the end of the burr, and that made them stick to his socks. Well, he was inspired by that hook, and he made Velcro. So this is a boy named Alex, and Alex wants to ride his bike. But his mom says, oh no, you need to have something that's going to protect your head. So Alex gave it some thought, and he thought about a turtle. He thought to himself, hey, a turtle has a shell. How can I use the idea of a turtle shell to help protect my head? So, boys and girls, I want to help Alex figure out how to protect his head to ride the bike. And I'm not going to use a turtle, I'm going to use a tortoise. A tortoise is kind of like a turtle, but it lives on the land. It does not live in the water. So if you remember, we saw Dodger before. This is Dodger, and Dodger, there's Dodger. Dodger is a tortoise. She is a reptile. She is a vertebrate because she has a backbone, but I'm going to use her shell as my inspiration. So her shell is hard, okay, but it's also curved, and it's also attached. Do you see? It goes all the way under here. So it actually provides a really good protection for Dodger. So I'm just thinking of how I could use this idea. So I'm going to draw a picture. It's okay if it's not a very good picture. I'm just getting some ideas down. This is called brainstorming. I'm going to brainstorm an idea. And I'm also not a very good artist. I should take some more art lessons with Mr. Rivera. But I'm going to kind of look at Dodger, and I'm going to draw her from the side. So I see that her shell is like this, and then it kind of curves over, and it's connected. I'm going to stay here, Dodger. And she has a place where her head can come out. So there's an opening here, and her legs come out too. Her head, it's kind of like a a long oval, and her eyes are there. I'm not so interested in her head or her eyes as her shell. And her shell is curved and it's hard. So, let's see, Dodger. I'm just trying to think about what materials I might have that could help me. I need something that I could bend a little bit, but also provides some strength. I'm thinking about maybe some cardboard. And I'm thinking about maybe something, because I think that like Dodger has kind of like her skin has got some like muscles all around it. And we're wondering if maybe I should get some foam or bubble wrap or something like that to add some cushioning underneath the cardboard. Okay, I'm gonna get some materials and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got a bunch of supplies that make me think that I could make a helmet to protect Alex's head. And it's okay if it doesn't work, right? That's the thing about engineering. You can do it many times until you get it right. Failure helps me actually learn things. Okay, so I got like a cardboard, and this cardboard has kind of got some scores in it, just hold out like where it can bend. This is what can be folded into a pencil box at school. So I've got this. I got a paper plate, which is a little bit not as stiff, right? It's a little more flexible, but not as strong. I have some long pieces of cardboard, which are pretty hard, pretty stiff, but not kind of wide enough to go across my whole head. I have these lunch trays from the school cafeteria. I thought, hey, could be interesting, kind of cover my head this way. I'd have to connect them together, and they're not as strong as the cardboard. So it's interesting, boys and girls, because every single time there's one thing that's good, right? The fact that this is bigger and it bends a little bit. The downside is that it's not as strong, not as much protection. So we have to weigh the different things that we're looking at. I also have some bubble wrap. And bubble wrap is very flexible and it provides cushioning. I thought this might be useful in some way. I have some scissors, I have some tape, I have string, I have a hole punch, and I have a stapler. So my first thing is I'm gonna draw an idea. So that's kind of a plan. When you have an engineering project, the first thing is to get some ideas. I looked at Dodger, I got the idea of using her shell as inspiration for biomimicry. And now I'm gonna draw a couple of different ideas. So I think I'm gonna draw maybe a cardboard, a cardboard, a cardboard, a cardboard. And then I'm gonna label, that's cardboard on the outside. And then I'm gonna put some bubble wrap on the inside. I'm gonna label it bubble wrap. And then I think I'm gonna put some string so I can connect it. And I'm gonna label that string. So it's not a really fancy drawing, right? It's just a simple drawing, but that's one idea. Okay, that's one idea. I think I might also use the lunch trays. I'm gonna have them at the top and they connect. And I'm gonna label that lunch trays. Lunch trays. And I think I'm still gonna stick with the bubble wrap on the inside. I like that idea. I'm gonna label that bubble wrap. And I'm gonna use some string again to connect it. String. Okay, so that's another idea. I've got the lunchbox trays on the outside, I've got the bubble wrap and the string, okay? It's kind of similar, but instead of using individual pieces of cardboard, I use those lunch trays. Okay, now I'm gonna try a paper plate. So I think I'm gonna have the paper plate. And because the paper plate is so flimsy, I think I'm gonna put, maybe I'll use 2 paper plates. 2, I think that's a good idea. 2 paper plates. Gives it a little more strength. And I'm gonna put bubble wrap on the inside. I love the bubble wrap. And the string. Okay, and here is that idea. So boys and girls, I want you to draw 2 or 3 different ideas. You can use cardboard, you could use paper plates, you could use other materials that you have, and just come up with some different ideas, write them down, draw a picture of them, and then we're gonna start building. Kind of fun! Okay, so boys and girls, I started my first one with the cardboard. And what I did is I took some long pieces of cardboard. I had some cardboard that was this shape, but it was too big, right? It was stuck out, it was too big. So I cut it in half, and then I taped it together. And where it tapes together, it bends. It's like a joint, okay? So it bends. And I thought, like, I can't just have it on the top of my head. I need to protect the back of my head too. And then I tried to bend it, and it didn't work, the back. And so I realized I had to make a little shape. So what I did is these on the back here, I folded them in, and then one at a time, these folded over. So it kind of looked like this. And it fits on my head really nicely. So now I'm gonna tape this together. So I've got this really nice shape, but I started it flat. I had 8 pieces of cardboard, and then I took these 2, I folded it together, and I kind of closed the end there, and then 2 in the back. So it looks like this. So this is one idea. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna do a little bit more work on it. Kind of exciting. Okay, so boys and girls, now what I did is I taped the back together like that, and we'll see how it works. So this is pretty good. I feel like this is a good shape around my head, and it kind of reminds me of Dodger, right? With all of the shell all around. Now inside, I'm gonna put some bubble wrap. So I have some bubble wrap. If you don't have bubble wrap, you don't have to have bubble wrap. You could put like a cloth or something like that inside. Okay, I'm gonna see how this works. Oh, this is pretty good. I feel like the bubble wrap provides cushioning. All right, now I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some string and tie it closed. Oh wow, I'm kind of excited about this, boys and girls. Okay, so boys and girls, I taped the back, and then I taped the bubble wrap inside my helmet, and I used a hole punch, and I punched some little holes right there because I need to make sure my helmet doesn't just fall off my head, right? I need to have it attached, kind of like Dodger's shell is attached, right? So now I've got my string, and I'm gonna tie my helmet on. Maybe it would be better, I mean, I don't know, there's different things they could use instead of string, but oh, it's hard for me to tie it like this without seeing it. All right, take a look at this helmet. What do you guys think? So this is one of my ideas. I had 3 different ideas. I could still build some more. One of them, it doesn't have to be perfect, and this may not be the best type of helmet. Boys and girls, I want you to build some of your helmets now. See if you can help Alex solve his problem. He wants to ride his bike, and he also wants to protect his head. So if he falls off his bike, he won't hurt himself. Be inspired by Dodger. Yeah. All right, Cougars. I'll see you next week. Take care.